can you think of any two athletes that like hate each other? Like
Hate?
that race against each other and they hate each other. Like the only
You know,
hate that you see is basically media versus an athlete that's been accused of doping. That's the only hate you see. You don't
I think
see
people,
like hate because you beat me or I beat you.
I think people in the track and field world do a good job of keeping things to themselves, or basically saying things in vague terms that nobody else responds, because it's impossible for them not to dislike each other. At least somebody. You can't respect everybody. I mean, you get like the fake feuds, like the Centro Engels, Josh Thompson thing that, they get bored at altitude camp and they make stuff up. Chile Lemong was fun. There are a lot of memes and, talking about lions and cats and things like that. But even, Lomong came on the pod and said that there was no beef there. I would think the closest parallel you'd get is probably to some college programs that don't like each other.
Yeah.
Especially some programs in the SEC. The last time we recorded this pod, or 2 times ago on Monday, we went through all the assaults that were committed during various SEC distance races and Big 12 races as well too. That's probably where you would find the hatred, because familiarity breeds contempt. And then when you already have that rivalry going on from other sports, from other years, it just grows from there.
Yeah, I just hope that we need more hate. And I know it's not a really good platform to be on, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing Westbrook be so
Mm-hmm.
angry with Embiid and Embiid be so angry with Westbrook. It's just gonna be fun.
Yeah.
That's what makes a good basketball matchup. But in track, you don't have like Carissa Schweizer and Rachel Schneider just going at each other like
Yeah.
before and after races. No, they're like, oh, whatever, okay. Even though they're
Yeah.
two different, So I don't know. I want to see. Maybe you have a little bit of hate between like former Bowerman athletes and current Bowerman athletes. Maybe there's a little bit of like maybe Kate Grace and Colin Quigley are going to be like, let's see who can make the team versus like let's see who made the better decision, leaving Jerry versus staying with Jerry. I don't know. That's something. Well, Travis just texts us Bolt and Gatlin. Bolt and Gatlin didn't hate each other. Gatlin, when he beat Bolt, like bowed down to him and
Yeah.
like
Well,
praised
and
him.
then he went, and then at the press conference after, Bolt basically defended Gatlin, because that people were
Yeah.
still coming at Gatlin, and Bolt like stood in front of the bus that was coming for Gatlin after he got beat by him. It's easy to do that when you beat him, but yeah, the
Yeah.
between the bowing down and then the the covering, not I don't want to say covering for him, but the going to bat for him at the press conference, defending him, like, because he could have easily played into the whole the the integrity of the sport is on the line, and what's going to happen to the sport now that Bolt lost and he got beat by Gallon. He didn't do any of that. If you go back and watch the press conference, he took a complete 180 from that. Bolt would snip at people when they would run fast at like pre, and then someone would say something. Someone would say something that was completely innocuous, and it would get taken out of context. Like, a reporter would ask, do you, this isn't a specific thing, but this is like a vague memory of the era. Someone would ask, do you think Usain Bolt is beatable? And a U.S. sprinter would be like, well, yeah, anybody is beatable on any given day. And Bolt would use that as motive. Oh, okay. You think those Hayward Field times mean something? We'll see when it comes time for the Olympics. But it's so contrived, and you're just trying to create a rivalry. The Bolt Lyles thing from 2019, but Bolt's not competing anymore. So he doesn't,
Yeah.
he's like a guy on now, like on Inside the NBA, just commenting, which that's fun, right? It's fun when Donovan Mitchell gets an awkward interview question from Shaq, but that's not fueling your game to game interest in in the actual event. Like, you need somebody actively competing. I want them to be honest, right? I don't need them to make up fake rivalries, but honest ones would be good. Honest dislike is fine.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some like in the moment hate. Like we had like a Will Lear being pissed about like the end of a 1500. I remember at one of the
Yeah,
USA's. We
yeah.
had um Blankenship just being pissed at himself for not making the team in 2015 it was. But I don't know. Yeah, we just don't have that true hate. I mean, Sha'Carri Richardson, she's been subtweeting some people. Maybe she hates some people. That's good, and maybe we can get a little bit of. We need like the second best 100-meter runner to be
Mhm.
like fuck you, or I should say f you. That's I'm not sure what this is
Yeah,
TV
what do you do?
PG
Yeah, you
13.
just got us
Whatever.
the explicit rating, man. No.
I got just got a strike. Sorry, but I just we need some more characters
Yeah.
barking at each other and not just racing each other. It's more
Yeah.
fun.
I remember after Doha 4x1, Mike Rogers was like pumped up because they just won the gold. And I was like, when did you know it was over? Said something like that. And then he's like, we all knew it was over. Great Britain knew it was over. Like he was being very he was pumped up, yeah, and he had a right to be, and it was completely innocuous. But you could see I forgot who else was in the interview with him. It might have been Noah or Christian, or maybe it was both of them. And they get a little sheepish like when he mentions that, because it's like, oh, don't mention the names. But like Rogers was saying probably what most athletes would have said of like, yeah, we beat him, and we beat him good, and it wasn't close. But everybody was like, don't go too far, don't be disrespectful or anything like that. But yeah, maybe it'll be Richardson that ushers in a new era. But I also think, correct me if I'm wrong, conflicts now and beefs on the internet seem to be more prevalent, but they're also fleeting because it's just like everything happens so quickly. The tweets and the Instagram posts come and go so fast that's like you forget about one thing a week later because there's 10 other things that pop up. Whereas I feel like in the previous era, people would marinate with it a bit more.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, remember when Shawnee Miller Weibo and Tori Bowie had their beef
Yes.
and they fought on it feels like forever ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe it's gonna be on you and me, Kevin, during the Olympic trials to manufacture these beefs and not report, quote, not report. I'm hearing, not reporting. I'm just hearing that so and so was waiting for the so and so in the alley after round 2 of the 800. That's what we can
Well,
try to
you've talked to a
put
lot of
together.
people. You've talked to a lot of people, and they'll tell you things that they won't say publicly. What do you say is the biggest source of dislike from one athlete to another, one program to the other?
Biggest source of dislike? I mean, there was the whole like
Yeah, and I'm not saying
NOP
names specific.
versus everybody, right?
Well, right, but I'm
That
saying
was
what's the source of? I'm not saying name specific people or groups that hate each other, but it's like, what are they getting mad at? Right? In basketball, football, oh, it was a hard foul, it was a cheap shot, it was something maybe personal that happened off the court. But like, what are they even getting mad about in track? Is it sponsorship issues? Is it allegations that some people are taking shortcuts? Is it coaching drama? Like, what is it?
I mean, it's doping allegations or just being associated with doping allegations is
Right.
what they would cause people to be upset about. Like it's not about the like for a while now the brand the of NOP had this allegation to them. So we even saw like Jenny Simpson and Craig Engels. Like Jenny Simpson called out Craig in the was it Doha,
Yeah.
and then Craig was like, "We had breakfast together. What's
Yeah.
the deal?" And he
Yeah.
was kind of like confused. But I think that's really the only true hate we have in like the distance side is, the like being associated with Alberto Salazar, and even there might be a little bit of that now, even without
Hmm.
Salazar in the mix, because they just want to, you know,
Yeah.
still say that, oh, if you're just were any way connected to it at any time in your entire career, that's forever tainted. But I don't know. It's just
My point
before
is,
you, yeah.
I think you're
Sorry.
100% right. My point is that's a real issue, and that's almost a too big of an issue to have a beef over, because then you're getting at the core of the integrity of the sport.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a better beef is much more trivial, right? It's more uh I don't fun in a way.
Yeah.
This isn't fun. You have people from like different events, different event groups, different genders, like going at each other uh about whether or not a coach should be suspended. It almost needs to be We need to find something for people to argue about that's not as serious. Doesn't go to the core of it. I mean, this is important and it's good conversations. And I was glad in Doha that they were saying what's on their mind. You can't criticize people for never saying anything or holding back, and then when they do, be like, "Well, why did you do that? You're violating the decorum of this Doha mix zone that I'm in." No, you can't say that. You can't say that. But I just think that it's like too big of an issue to be lumped under something as trivial as a beef.
True. Well, we still got time to create these beefs before the Olympic trials. We're like 5 weeks away. So that's 5 weekends of,
Yeah.
something happening.